be a ghost, your game, your stadium. I'll be a 50,000 clapping like one, and I feel alright, and I feel alright, 'cause I worked it out, yeah, I worked it out. I'll be doing this if you're ever down, till the love runs out, till the love runs out. I got my mind made up, and I can't let go. I'm killing every second till it saves my soul. I'll be running till the love runs out, till the love runs out, and we'll start a fire, and we'll shut it down till the.
Brought to you by Sprite. It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
The NBA season in full swing now. I'm Ernie Johnson along with Shaquille O'Neal. It's the NBA on 2K Sports. And tonight, it'll be the Memphis Grizzlies going up against the Cavaliers out in Cleveland. And for Cleveland, these guys are playing good basketball with 7 wins in their last 10 games, and they like their chances tonight. LeBron James trying to take this Cavalier team to the promised land. He admits that it's going to take some time. It's not an immediate thing. What do you think, Shaq?
I disagree with him. Every time you have a player of LeBron's caliber, you have a chance. They have youth. They have athleticism. They also have great veteran leadership in LeBron James.
And it is time now to send it out to Kevin Harlan as they get ready for the opening tip.
Greetings and best wishes for a happy holiday season from all of us at 2K Sports as we get set for this NBA presentation. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. Doris Burke will be reporting from the sidelines. For the Memphis Grizzlies, they won their last contest, that game against Chicago.
Yeah, that was a strange game. Very shaky defensive performance by their opponent, but hey, they took advantage of it.
Yeah, I'd go along with that. I mean, the game wasn't handed to them, but they definitely didn't have to work as hard as they should have.
Now look at Memphis's starting group. Prince is the 3 and Randolph the 4. Carter is out there with Udrich, and it's Kufis in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Now Irving playing Brooklyn. He was nearly unstoppable.
Well, Tayshaun Prince, a terrific player in his time with that championship Detroit Pistons team in years past, but his decline over the last 5 years has been noticeable. Ever since he hit 30, it's been downhill.
Now here's Love. 5 to shoot. A terrific shot on a turnaround.
Picture perfect with the turnaround. There's no stopping that shot.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Kev, I caught up with Coach David Blatt. On his mind, the difficult task of defending Zach Randolph. He said Randolph's especially tough because he's not only a go-to scorer on the low block at the pinch post, but also a guy who can pick up a lot of second chance points with his work on the glass. He's a 20 and 10 double-double guy for a reason. We'll have our hands full trying to slow him down. Guys, back to you.
All right, Doris, thanks. And for Prince, now 34 years of age, with this season and next left on his contract.
Yeah, still a smart veteran who doesn't make many mistakes, but it's certainly clear that his best days are behind him.
Love grabs the board. And here are the Cavaliers now. They're coming off that win against the Nets.
I thought the way they attacked the rim and got into the paint was phenomenal. It seemed like after a while, the defense just kind of waved the white flag.
That's exactly what will happen when a team continues to attack the goal and come away with layups. It demoralizes the defense.
Clark, I'm guessing that wasn't the plan for the D on that trip.
And I'm agreeing with you there. Once they opened the lane up for him, that was a little emphasis on that finish.
Take what the defense gives you and then just power it home, right? Why not?
Floats one up. That's good from Randolph on the assist by Prince.
Boy, beautiful assist. That's a couple of teammates clearly on the same page.
Here's Irving, averaging 26 points a game. If you're just tuning in, we played about 2.5 minutes here in the first, and he gets the bucket.
Well, I think this is the start they wanted. Come out and put some points up early. 3 of 4 so far.
Grizzlies have gotten 4 of 6 field goal attempts to drop in the first quarter. Here's Randolph, and down it goes. Dunked through off a wonderful assist.
A long wind-up and a strong follow-through on that one-hand jam.
He's not going to mess that one up for sure.
No, that's too easy for him.
Now here's Verjao. Irving drives in. Can't get it to go. Some solid defense from Randolph. The shot's good from Love.
He's getting his hands dirty right away by doing some battling on the boards.
Memphis leading. Woodrick, the pass to Randolph. Irving against Prince. Woodrick dishes to Carter. Fires from the corner. They get the rebound. Kufus, and the layup's good off the glass. Kufus has got 8 points.
That was the third straight high-percentage look this defense has allowed. I mean, these defenders have got to start bumping bodies in the paint. Be more physical. Be more aggressive.
I agree, Clark, but it doesn't look like they have the will to do that at this moment.
Now here is Verjao. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game.
This quarter has not been his best. The defense may be starting to affect him a little bit.
You think about the Grizzlies, and the one thing that jumps out at you is their physicality. I mean, that's a team that loves contact and has no problem being physical.
Love up top. Another guy who really kicked it up a notch for them in that game against the Nets. And the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a three-point play.
Terrific play right there. Great strength to finish through the hit.
That's how you do it, the bump and the bucket.
And the Cavaliers will go with a different look here. Thompson, he's checked in for Verjao. Marion comes in for James. Matthew Dellavedova has checked in for Mike Miller. And Lucas subbed in for Irving. So Memphis going with almost an entire new group here. Marc Gasol has checked in for Kufus. Lee comes in for Zach Randolph. Nick Galathis, he's checked in for Vince Carter. And it's Conley in for Udrih. Cavaliers have gone 5 of 8 from the field, shooting over 62%. And Thompson kicks to Love. Cleveland moving the ball around. It's Marion with the drive. And unable there to get the go-ahead bucket.
That's an unusual, surprising miss for him. Typically, he's good on those inside. They are not rotating nearly quickly enough on defense down low. Got to get quicker there.
And even if it costs them some foul trouble, I mean, they need to start putting some bodies on bodies. Be physical.
Here's Dellavedova. Marion a screen on Conley. And there's the call. It's going to be an illegal screen.
It's a tough call there on that illegal screen.
He didn't look set to me, Steve. I thought that was a good call.
Jones checked in for Cleveland. .107 left in the first quarter. Conley, the pass to Lee. Back to Conley from outside the arc, and that one's good. Conley's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3.
They've got themselves in front with some outstanding shooting right off the bat.
Yep, it's been a clinic at that end of the floor, no question.
Dishes it to Marion. Marion left side. No good off the back of the rim. Prince kicks to Gasol. Outside Conley. The three-pointer, no good. 5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Lucas dishes to Thompson.
Grizzlies foul. Courtney Lee. That's his first personal foul.
For Cleveland, they have gone 1 for 1, making their previous attempt at the line.
2 shots.
And the first one at the line is good. And he can't hit the second. And the Grizzlies leading by 5. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
And the defense looking to protect the rim at all costs.
Yeah, I like that. A foul to save the layup. Make him earn it at the line.
The Grizzlies shooting their first free throws here for the night. First one falls for.
Oh my gosh, I just got that.
So he gets them both.
Oh my gosh, I just got that.
The Cavaliers trail by 7. Lucas the pass to Dellavedova. They set the pick to the inside. Here's Thompson. It's tipped. And that concludes the first quarter of play. Memphis out in front, up 7. And don't go away. We'll be back with the action for the start of the second quarter in just a moment.
Spend your Christmas day with the NBA. Kevin Durant of the Oklahoma City Thunder take on Tony Parker and the San Antonio Spurs. It's the NBA Thursday.
Come on. Now the second quarter getting ready to start up. And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for the Grizzlies.
You know, guys, we've really seen them do a lot of damage in the paint so far.
Well, the other thing I like is defensively they're causing turnovers, and that's allowing them to get into transition.
The Cavaliers trail by 7. And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. So on the floor for Memphis, Zibo and Marc Gasol are up front. Conley and Lee, they're the backcourt. And it's Carter in at the small forward.
Kyrie Irving 3 seasons ago was the only rookie in NBA history to shoot as well as he did from the three-pointers, the field, and the free throw line. There's no question about it. He is an elite shooter.
Here's Dellavedova. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. And that one's good. James.
Offensively, he can be the engine that drives them at any given time.
And Irving's super skilled, one of the league's best shooters, and you make a strong case for being the league's most elusive ball handler as well. Seems to get by his man pretty much at will. I don't mind that shot, though. He's an excellent three-point shooter.
Get it! Watch out now. Man, he got fancy with that one, didn't he?
Yeah, maybe trying to give them the momentum boost they need to break this game open.
And I like that. I mean, some coaches might want to see just a sure-handed lay-in, but I say put as much as you can on the finish and get your teammates going.
Now here's LeBron. Vince Carter missing his last shot. The dish to Dellavedova. Irving against Carter. Irving kicks to Thompson. Power down with both hands. Stupendous rush to the rim and a mighty slam on the end of it.
But through the teeth of some pretty soft D. I can't help but say that.
Well, let's see how that impacts things here, because those kinds of plays sometimes can be game changers on both sides.
So timeout called here. The first for Memphis.
The Cavs were an all-out mess last year, and a lot of that was because of their depth. They just did not have the punch off the bench to keep leads or bring them back into games.
A different look now for Cleveland. Anderson Bergejas checked in for Tristan Thompson. Love comes in for Sean Marion. And Mike Miller subbed in for Matthew Dellavedova. And we're a little over a minute and a half into the second quarter of action.
And with the Cavs, their score differential for their reserves really tells the story. Just way too many points given away when that second unit came onto the floor. Something they needed to address in the offseason, and they did.
From the sideline, let's catch up with Doris Burke.
Well, you have to admire Dion Waiters' confidence as he feels he's going to be the next great shooting guard, not shy to proclaim himself as the next in line. Waiter saying, I really believe that I'll eventually be the best shooting guard in the NBA. This year, I'm going to show a lot of people who doubted me and still doubt me. I'm going to show them. Can't wait to watch, guys.
Well, Doris, confidence so key in this league. Thanks. The Cavaliers have made 2 of their previous 3 free throws in today's game. Kufis checked in for Marc Gasol. No good on the second, so he hits 1 of 2. And for the Cavs, depth certainly won't be an issue this time around. A lot of changes and growth for them, resulting in a much deeper and talented roster.
And hammer time! Hammer time! Man, he got fancy with that one, didn't he?
Yeah, maybe trying to give them the momentum boost they need to break this game open.
And I like that. I mean, some coaches might want to see just a sure-handed lay-in, but I say put as much as you can on the finish and get your teammates going.
And he gets it to go. Varejão's got the lead up to 3 now for the Cavs.
Great-looking bounce pass to set up that play.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've had a number of empty ones, a long time without a basket.
They got to find something, you're right. Randolph can't hit. Stolen by Randolph to the paint. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
Take a look at what Kufis has been doing. He has 8 points, and they've got to be happy with his work on the glass, too.
Oh, they have to be. I mean, he's not giving up any ground in the paint, and when the ball goes up, I mean, it's his. Memphis really revitalized their season late in the year, but they dropped a lot of games against the East early on.
The Grizzlies would rally later in the year, Clark, as you were saying, some losses to the East last year that they would want back.
Yeah, no question about it. Every team in the league wants games back they lose. You can't recapture them, though. Memphis no different. They had some injury issues, though. Marc Gasol out for a while, and that really disrupted their rhythm. But late in the season, as you said, they were right on track.
Here's Varejão, and the Cavaliers get another bucket right there.
Really not hard to see why they're giving up points on this run. I mean, they've just given them too many looks inside.
Yeah, I mean, they're just getting pounded in there. The defense not offering much resistance. They've got to force the ball back out to the perimeter.
Count that one, and the Cleveland lead has been cut back down to just 2 points. The basket there coming from Kufis. And in the second quarter, a little under 3.5 minutes played already. LeBron left side. Back to Irving. There's the pass to James. He feeds it to Miller. 5 on the clock. The drive by James, and easy 2 points on the layup. LeBron's got the lead back up to 4 now for the Cavs. For Memphis, they've gone only 2 of 7 from the field since the second quarter got underway. There's Lee with the 3, and that one falls coming off Conley's feet. Lee's got his first 3 points of the game.
But you can't leave him alone, especially from long range.
Here's Irving, and he drops in the layup off the glass. And the Cavaliers lead by 3.
And now we can see them really working it inside.
Now taking advantage of the defense, really pounding it down low.
Lee dishes to Kufis. Outside Irving. And the dunk by James.
Boy, I love it. Active hands on the steal, active feet on the fast break.
And Clark power on the dunk.
And guys, this is just too close of a game to be giving the ball up like that and then failing to get back in transition.
And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Well, Zach Randolph is one of the best years of his career and most sustained success in Memphis. You know, a tricky choice for him this past offseason, deciding whether to opt out of the final year of his contract. In the end, he wanted the security of a longer-term deal.
And Zach Randolph opting into the final year of his contract. It would have been strange to see him in another uniform.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, the city's really embraced him. He said it's a blue-collar town, and he's a blue-collar player. He's helped define their style of play, and he really hopes to retire as a Grizzly. I'd like to see that happen as well.
Be nice.
Yeah.
Catching up on the changes for Cleveland. Jones comes in for James. And John Lucas is subbed in for Mike Miller. It's a pick by Love. Irving attacking. And again, it's Cleveland.
Well, it looks like he's finally found his footing in this game. His first quarter was a real struggle, but he's got it going now.
And Udrich kicks to Prince. Pass to Udrich. Here's Kalathis. That three off the mark.
Oh, they're now +5 in the rebound category, really controlling the glass.
And rebounding is one of those non-glamour stats. I mean, it takes work and effort and tenacity and physicality. But when you look at the scoreboard, you can see the correlation.
They grabbed their own miss. And, there's a whistle. He was going up for a layup. And while it looked like there was some contact, I wasn't sure they were going to call a foul shot or not. But sure enough, they have. So he'll head to the free throw line. The Cavaliers shooting their 6th and 7th free throw attempts tonight. That free throw good from Love. A different look now for Cleveland. Tristan Thompson, he's checked in for Verejao. Marion comes in for Kyrie Irving. And it's Matthew Dellavedova in for John Lucas. And Memphis also making a switch. Gasol's checked in. Both free throws good from Kevin Love.
We're seeing today what makes him one of the best free throw shooters among the league's big men. Beautiful stroke.
Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. The Grizzlies with another miss. The Cavaliers leading by 8. Marion passes to Dellavedova. It's a pick by Love. Off the screen. And it's Dellavedova missing.
Well, with that much space off the pick, you've got to drop that in.
Yeah, you got to make that one. I mean, that's a high-quality shot you should make 9 out of 10 times.
So we've reached the end of the first half of play. Cavaliers lead by 8. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Yes, Kevin, I'm here with LeBron, and you obviously have been very productive. How pleased are you with where you're getting the basketball and how you're scoring?
I'm very pleased with my individual performance right now, but not so pleased with how I'm trying to help our teammates. I got to do a better job of trying to get our teammates in the flow as well as keep myself in a good groove too. So hopefully I can do a better job of that in the second half.
LeBron, thank you. Kevin, he can't do it by himself.
Thank you, Doris, and we'll be right back after halftime for the start of quarter number 3. And the third quarter about ready to get underway. The Cavaliers leading by 8. The 2 stars, LeBron and Love. At the 3 and the 4. Kyrie Irving is out there with Mike Miller. And it's Verejao in at the center filling out the middle. That's the 5 for Cleveland right now. Love. And he can't extend the lead to double digits.
Terrific defense at the rim. They got right in his path.
That's part of what great defenders do. They get not only in your path, but in your head a little bit too.
Now here's James. And Love has it in the corner. Back to LeBron. Randolph grabs the board.
Kevin Love, I think, solidifying his place last season among the best players in the world. A first-time starter in the All-Star game, and incredible numbers. 26 points, over 12 boards a game in the regular season.
Here's Irving. He's got 9. Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, what do you have?
Yes, Kevin, Cavaliers head coach David Blatt, unknown here in the United States, but he spent the last 2 decades establishing himself as the premier coach in Europe. Last season, he led Maccabi Tel Aviv to an upset EuroLeague title. One GM described the team as, quote, outgunned at every position except coach. Kevin, it's been his dream to coach in the NBA.
Many consider him a genius-level coach. Doris thinks we'll see how he does. Right side, Irving. And he gets it to go. Irving's got the lead up to 8 now for the Cavs.
And GMs agree, voting Kevin Love the top power forward going into last season. He did nothing to dissuade him. I mean, he's a great scorer. He's been in the top 3 in rebounding for 3 of the last 4 seasons.
Timeout called, the Grizzlies. And as we get a break here, important for the teams to go over their own strategy. And for the players, this is where you have a chance to get rehydrated with Gatorade. So put out your best effort as the game wears on, guys.
You know, it's amazing when you're playing during a season, if you go through a stretch where you don't hydrate, it can have a major physical toll on you. Your body wears down quicker, you don't recover as fast, and that can really take its toll over the course of an 82-game season.
Wow, he was just wide open there. That's way too easy.
The Cavaliers leading by 6. So timeout called here, the first for Cleveland.
Yeah, he definitely saw some things that were not working for them out there, and now he's going to make some adjustments.
I'm not sure what it was, but he clearly wanted something to change out there.
And Memphis making a change here. Conley's checked in. And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Well, over the break, I listened in on David Blatt's huddle. He said their plan was run their offense through LeBron. When Coach addressed the guys in the huddle, his message was clear. Quote, he's who we want getting the bulk of the touches. He is who we want making our decisions. Those could prove to be crucial changes to their strategy with this game getting ready to enter the stretch drive, Kevin.
Thanks, Doris. Here's Carter, and he takes that one up and powers it through.
Went for the two-hander on that slam. That's where the weight room comes into play, Kevin.
I think some urgency from him there.
Yeah, he's sensing this is a critical time in this game, guys.
Irving against Conley. Love with the screen for James. The Cavaliers again can't hit. The Grizzlies trail by 4. Everything appeared to be lined up for Cleveland to get back into the playoffs last year, but that just wasn't the case. A lot of what-ifs for them last season.
And with another top pick on the roster, Kevin, and a youthful team, they were a popular pick before the season to play postseason games, but they still needed some seasoning.
Conley kicks to Prince. Outside Prince. Here's Conley. Can't get it to go. Good D by Irving.
That's the kind of defense required when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were right in his face.
And the shot is good. And now an 8-point Cavalier lead.
Boy, the floor really opened up for him there.
It sure did. A good job getting it started before the defense can get itself set.
Here's Carter. Kicks it out to Prince. Pass to Randall. And so it looks like the Grizzlies will retain possession here.
Over the last month, let's take a look at the Grizzlies and how they stacked up in the league statistically. First in field goal percentage. First in fewest turnovers a game. And they're number 1 in opponent scoring. They don't allow teams to get into a rhythm offensively, and thus they're able to hold those points down.
And the shooting is really what stands out to me. And this is a team that does such a good job of finding open looks. They're unselfish. They work offensively to create good shots. And when they do that, they're on their game. They're tough to beat.
LeBron kicks to Irving. Now the feed to Love. Yes, and it's Irving picking up the assist. That's 12 points for Love.
He's been one of their more reliable options today, guys. I mean, his shooting has led them to this lead.
Got a piece of it. Stolen by Varejao. Prince against Miller. He shoots again, and it's Love getting it to go. Love's got 4 points this quarter. And taking a quick look here at the hustle stats for Cleveland.
Their activity at the defensive end, Kevin, has been really impressive. Attacking and coming away with steals.
They've repeatedly gotten out on the break tonight as well and scored a lot of baskets in transition.
Boy, beautiful assist. That's a couple of teammates clearly on the same page.
The Cavaliers leading by 8.
Love is known for how explosive he can be on offense, but he still gets knocked on for his defensive prowess or lack thereof. He seems to be tiring of it, though, and has put in a lot of work. I think he's gotten better.
Conley kicks to Carter. Feeds to Kufis. Randolph trying to free himself up, and it's Kufis missing. Cleveland's gotten blank from three-point land so far in the third. Still 0 for 3. Back to Irving. Cleveland moving the ball around. James wide open. Verajao dishes to Irving. That's good. And now a 12-point Cleveland lead. And so it's Memphis with it. I remember last season when Tyson Chandler had remarks about Love's defense, and Love just brushed it off. It's something he's heard before and has followed him even in his rise to the highest ranks of the NBA.
And I think it's been a bit of an overhyped and overstated problem for him. I mean, he does so much more on the court than people think. I don't think he'll ever be an NBA All-Star defender, but he's more than capable of holding his own at that end of the floor.
Catching up on the changes for Cleveland. Thompson, he's checked in for Verajao. Marion comes in for Kevin Love. And it's Matthew Dellavedova in for Miller. The Grizzlies trail by 15. Lee outside to stop the run. That's in there. Conley with the assist. Lee's got his second basket of the night.
They're down right now, trying to stay in the game with the three ball. They've shot a lot more here in the second half than they did in the first half. And I'm not sure I agree with that strategy.
LeBron, good. James has got 19 points.
And he may be the guy to put this game even farther out of reach.
The Grizzlies have gone 6 of 10 from the field in the third quarter. And a wide open look for Lee. And again, it's Memphis with the three. LeBron with it. He's got 19. Right side, Irving. The drive by James. Back to Irving. From downtown. No up. And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. Cavaliers ahead. They're up by 11. And we'll have the start of the fourth quarter for you as soon as we get back from this short break.
Spend your Christmas day with the NBA. Kobe Bryant and the Los Angeles Lakers take on Derrick Rose and the Chicago Bulls. Live this Thursday night.
And a moment now to take a look at our State Farm assist of the game. With 6 in the game, it's been some excellent court vision from Irving.
Well, he's been key to their ability to find the open man and really get the offense operating smoothly.
The Grizzlies trail by 11. So on the floor for Memphis, they've got Nick Colathis. Marc Gasol is out there with Tayshaun Prince. Then it's Lee, and it's Udrih in at the point guard.
They're doing their best to erase the deficit here with some smart passes and some good shooting. I mean, those two things go hand in hand. If you're going to make shots, then the passes have to be on target and on time.
LeBron, no luck.
Well, as far as jump shots go, that's as high percentage as it gets.
I'm not sure how that didn't go down.
Here's Gasol, and good work on the boards. They pick up a second chance points.
You got to put bodies on the glass right there. They just are not getting it done on the boards.
Yeah, they've got to do a much better job of going harder than that to the glass.
Irving passes to Thompson. The drive by LeBron. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. James has got 21 in the game.
And there it is again. That's where their points have been coming today, from the low post.
And even under pressure in tight, they've maintained their concentration and converted their opportunities.
Colathis kicks to Udrih. There's Lee with the three. That's good. And it's Udrih with the assist that time. Lee's got 9 points now in just the second half. The Cavaliers leading by 6. And the Cavaliers call time here. Well, good teams tend to have a defined style of play. Steve, the Grizzlies had grit and grind, but it seems they're going away from it now.
Kind of a throwback style, Kevin, but it suited their personnel perfectly, particularly with Randolph and Gasol down low. The slower pace lent itself to better defense for them, and they really pounded you inside, that's for sure.
Catching up on the changes for Cleveland. Anderson Varejau's checked in for Thompson. Love comes in for James. And Miller subbed in for Matthew Dellavedova. Zach Randolph's checked in for Memphis. Carter comes in for Nick Kalathis. A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Yes, Kevin, during that last break, I heard David Blatt as he addressed his team. He was absolutely adamant, saying, don't let them off the hook. Let's keep our foot on the pedal and keep doing the things that have gotten us here this far. We're almost home.
Great. Thanks for the report, Doris. And we're around 2 minutes into the fourth quarter here.
And, you know, the Grizzlies got swept in the Western Conference Finals back in 2013 because the Spurs just packed it in defensively. And I really think that was the impetus for the Grizzlies looking to try to play a more wide-open style. You know, even though that season in 2013 was, as a whole, the best ever for the franchise, it did expose their weaknesses and gave them something to work on.
Out of bounds, Cleveland takes possession.
Now, a severe lack of awareness on his part. He had no idea he was near the out-of-bounds line.
Just under 2.5 minutes gone here in the final quarter. Outside Irving. Rejected by Gasol. Carter dishes to Lee. Back to Carter. Memphis moving that ball around. Here's Udrih. And it's Memphis with another.
And last season, it took the Grizzlies some time to get going. The new head coach, the injury to Marc Gasol, but they added some shooting and athleticism on the wings and really rallied strongly towards the end of the year.
Irving passes to Varejao. Back to Irving. And he uses the glass on the layup. Irving's got 6 points in the quarter.
What a display of offense we've seen today, and it's only getting better.
Well, both defenses have been on their heels all day, and it's begun to take its toll.
Now a timeout called by Memphis.
You know, he just isn't pleased at all with the looks they've given up defensively inside. So I think this timeout is all about trying to get his group to tighten up defensively.
They just don't look very sharp to me on the defensive side.
Catching up on the changes for Memphis. Kufis checked in for Gasol. And Tayshaun Prince subbed in for Lee. The Grizzlies trail by 8. And Udrih kicks to Carter. Goes up at the stripe and misses it off the right side of the rim.
That's something they need to do more of. Get after it on the glass. Go get those boards.
Any extra possessions that you can get, either through steals or rebounds, are so critical in this game.
And the shot is good. 6 points for Anderson Varejao.
I don't know what's happening to their defense. I mean, they don't have any effort, any purpose.
And it's really costing them. I mean, the last 5 baskets at that end have been on very easy looks.
Udrih for 3. The Cavaliers pull it in. The biggest lead of the game, 15 points. Irving against Carter. Miller outside. Rejected by Kufis. And the whistle blows on the backcourt violation. He went over and back.
Well, let's forgive him for that turnover. It's the only one he's committed today.
James checked in for Sean Mary. Now, here is Irving. He's guarded by Udrih. Outside Irving. And he banks in the layup. Irving's got 14 points here in the second half.
And that bucket adds to what's been a big differential in points in the paint between these two teams.
Defensively, the intensity just hasn't been there. They've got to pick up the pace.
Carter with it. He's picked up by LeBron. Looking to get it going. And that one goes long.
It just hasn't been a very good day for him, guys. They need him to start burying some of those.
Love with the screen on Prince. Kicks it to Miller. Passes to LeBron. The jump hook. Here's Varejao. And he battles for the ball and gets the second chance bucket. And the Cavaliers lead by 14.
And these are the types of games where it's obvious one team clearly had the edge. Tonight, it's going to be a great win by a large margin for the Cavaliers.
And Clark, their hard work on the glass paid off.
You know, they both are excellent rebounding teams. I thought it was a tough battle underneath both ways.
And in terms of the season record, this is going to be their 18th win overall.
A little bit closer to the win now, and they'll be halfway to a sweep of the season series once they wrap this one up.
That's right. It's just a two-gamer since they're in opposite conferences, and you can bet they'll take the same approach right into game 2 that they had tonight.
You look at the stats, and you'll see just how dominant a game this was for Irving. He was doing everything right, and the points seemed to come in bunches. He definitely had the hot hand.
Catching up on the changes for Cleveland. Tristan Thompson, he's checked in for Varejao. James Jones comes in for Kevin Love. Matthew Dellavedova has checked in for Miller. And Lucas subbed in for Kyrie Irving.
Well, they're going to walk out of here with a win and send this crowd home happy.
A very solid performance in a lot of areas for them.
Inside, it's deflected. Stolen by Thompson. Lucas with it. And so it's Cleveland taking care of business in this. Not much to be critical of with this win, Clark.
Not at all. I mean, they showed up not just to play. They showed up to give great effort and to win, and they did both.
And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Thank you, Kevin. LeBron, tell us a bit about the energy out there tonight. It seemed like there was plenty of intensity on the floor.
We knew that today was going to have that type of feel. It's two teams that have the same aspirations, and that's winning the NBA championship. So it's a great game. It went down to the wire, and we gave our beautiful fans a great show today, and it was fun.
Thank you so much. Back to you guys at the table.
Thank you, Doris, for that. And now for Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke. This is Kevin Harlan saying, see you next time, as we present our Jordan Player of the Game, Kyrie Irving.
Wait till you're announced. We've not yet lost all our graces. The hounds will stay in chains. Look upon your greatness and she'll send the call out, 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 send call
presented by Sprite. The 2K Sports pregame show.
Along with Shaquille O'Neal, this is Ernie Johnson. It's the NBA on 2K Sports, and we're starting to get a sense of how this season will develop. Tonight, it's the Memphis Grizzlies as they'll be playing against the Utah Jazz. And for the Jazz, they need some wins to start adding up here in a hurry. More or less half the season behind us, and they are still struggling to prove they can contend. Let's turn our attention to Derek Favors, tough interior defender, drafted third back in 2010 after a year at Georgia Tech.
Yeah, Ernie, 6'10", but with tremendous strength and a 7'4" wingspan. He can guard 4s and 5s. He's not an elite shot blocker, but overall, he's a pretty good defender. He brings a lot of toughness inside. I'm interested to see how his game progresses.
Thank you all for joining us. It's time to go courtside to Kevin Harlan.
Live from Memphis, Tennessee, at the home of the Grizzlies, we're broadcasting from the FedEx Forum. There's no better time of year than the holidays for NBA basketball on 2K Sports. Welcome, everyone. This is Kevin Harlan courtside with Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. Back in Memphis, the Grizzlies tip off the beginning of a homestand. This is a game they expect to win. They come into this matchup confident and ready to take care of business.
This is the start of a brief homestand for them, but they may have a chance here, Kevin, to get some wins in front of their home fans before they head back out on the road. Yeah, because you never know what's going to happen on the next road trip. I mean, it's much easier to control your own fate on a short homestand, so I think this is an important little stretch here.
Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting five on the floor. Taking a look at the Jazz. Pairing up in the backcourt, Trey Burke and Alec Burks. Hayward 3 and Favors the 4. And it's Cantor in at the center position.
Boy, Trey Burke, Columbus's own, has been a hand-in-glove fit for the Utah Jazz. He missed the first 11 games of last season with a fractured finger, and the Jazz won just one of those 11 games. Once he was healthy, he made a big difference bringing his team back to life.
Sharp pass to give his teammate the high percentage shot in close.
Here in the first, a little over a minute played so far. And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
I was able to talk with Quinn Snyder for a moment. On his mind, the difficult task of defending Zach Randolph. He said Randolph's especially tough because he's not only a go-to scorer on the low block and the pinch post, but also a guy who can pick up a lot of second chance points with his work on the glass. He's a 20 and 10 double-double guy for a reason. We'll have our hands full trying to slow him down. Guys, back to you.
All right, Doris.
Well, you allow them to get right to the rim like that. That's your only option.
Yeah, I think you got to foul them, and free throws are better than a layup. Jack Randolph is a terrific rebounder and scorer. In his prime, he can just mark up 20 points and 12 rebounds a night, every night. He's a little bit on the downside now, but still a player you've got a game plan for.
Good on both. And Randolph, now 33 years old, had that knee injury a couple seasons back.
Yeah, his rebounding remains excellent, but we've seen his scoring wane just a bit, both in volume and the percentages. Not quite the go-to scorer he was a few years back, but still very effective player.
Prince outside. Randolph passes to Prince. Comes up empty down low. Utah has gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Now here's Burks, defended by Carter. Burke dishes to Cantor. Jazz passing it around. From the arc. And there's Burke. It's good on the assist by Hayward. Burks got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. And Udrich kicks to Carter. Here in the first, just under 2.5 minutes played so far. Randolph in the posts. He's guarded by Favors. Jazz trail by 3. Burke with it. He's coming off a 28-point game against the Hornets in Charlotte. A shot by Hayward, wide open. Here's Cantor. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
Well, at least the defender got his money's worth on that one.
Yep, that was an easy whistle for the official.
Enes Kanter, originally from Turkey, some real promise offensively. He scores well on that left block, and he does a nice job on the offensive boards as well. At times, he's even shown the ability to step out and space the floor. It'll be interesting to see how his game develops.
And the first one at the line is good. And Cantor not a big leaper or shot blocker, but his strength serves him well defensively.
Yeah, he's a good post defender, Kevin, because of those attributes. He holds his ground and has the length to bother and challenge shots. The Grizzlies were never picked to be a powerhouse in the West last year, but, boy, you've got to give that team and that organization an awful lot of credit because they clearly were a team that nobody out West wanted to play. You know, they've scored several times already here in the first quarter down low. I like that.
Yeah, me too, Clark. I think anytime you have success pounding the ball inside, you've got to continue to go to the well.
Now, here's Burks. He's coming off a 16-point game against Charlotte. Good!
Well, it's Memphis's defense and ability to hang tough in close games that makes them such an unattractive opponent to many teams in the West.
And Udrich kicks to Prince. Kufis inside. He's against Cantor. Jazz have gone 2 of 6 from the field. Burke, the pass to Burks. Out to the right wing. Burke dishes to Burks. And no good. Had a chance to take the lead. And Memphis went 29-23 against the West last year, Clark, and every game seemed to be a close one.
And even when you beat Memphis, Kevin, you feel like you may have you don't feel like you lost, but you know you've really earned the victory because they grind you so hard, and they typically don't beat themselves. It's clearly one of the toughest teams in the West.
Catching up on the changes for Memphis. Marcus Gasol is checked in for Kufis. Lee comes in for Zach Randolph. Nick Calathes, he's checked in for Vince Carter. And it's Conley in for Udrich. And here's Exum. We saw him with 19 points his last outing. There's a screen. Hood kicks to Exum, feeds to Nova. 6 to shoot. Shoots. Another miss by Utah.
Awesome defense. I mean, he'll hit those unless you're right in his grill.
To the inside. And that's Prince. That time on the assist by Conley. Prince has got his first points of the game.
Oh, Maestro, he is so good at making those lead passes, like conducting an orchestra.
There's a minute left here in the opening quarter. Here's Hood. Right now averaging 5 points a game. Puts it up from 17. Kept alive. Gobert the pass to Exum. Here's Hood. Pass to Gobert. With the clock winding down. And the powerful one-handed slam.
The defense just couldn't recover in time.
Yeah, the D pretty much went brain neutral on that one, Clark. Wouldn't
yes,
you?
Sir. I like that phrase.
Yeah, I don't use that phrase very often, but to me, that's what happened. He shifted the brain into neutral.
Yes, he did.
That was embarrassing.
19 seconds left to play here in the first. Now, Exum looking for his first basket still in this one. And Booker kicks to Hood. 4 seconds left. And that's 2 points on the layup. Now here is Conley. A sensational shot at the buzzer.
And perfectly timed. Couldn't have done it any better. How about the poise under pressure?
Well,
unbelievable.
Guys, he got himself into as good a position as he could before he pulled the trigger.
Spend your Christmas Day with the NBA. David Lee and the Golden State Warriors take on Chris Paul and the Los Angeles Clippers this Thursday, 10:30 Eastern Time, 7:30 Pacific.
Well, up to this point, a closely contested game as we start the second quarter. And taking a look at the Grizzlies' performance here, guys, what have they been doing or not doing?
Man, I thought the defense was key here for this club. They really tightened up and made it difficult on their opponent.
How about the help on the drives and rotations? I mean, they've really been in sync as a unit.
Well, for Memphis, their last game a loss to Cleveland.
Was not a very inspired performance for them, particularly defensively. I thought, they gave the hostile crowd a lot to cheer about, frankly.
Yeah, they allowed a lot of free runs to the hoop, a lot of open jumpers, and in the end, the opponent's shooting percentage was right through the roof, and you can't win when that's the case.
Zebo and Marc Gasol are up front. Nick Calathes is out there with Conley. And it's Lee in at the 3 spot. That's the group for Memphis to kick off the second quarter. Vince Carter is checked in for Memphis. Utah also making some changes. Gordon Hayward's checked in for Hood, and it's Burks in for Exum. Here's Burke.
Well, Marc Gasol missed some time last season with injury, but you can see just how important he is to a team when he's gone. I mean, the Grizzlies were nowhere near as imposing when he was sidelined by injury.
Booker inside, defended by Gasol. The shot will not go, and it's Memphis the other way. Following this one, they get to host the Rockets. That'll be the latter half of this 2-game homestand. Right side, Lee. Conley with the 3. There's the bucket. Good. Conley's got the lead up to 6 now for the Grizzlies.
And for Marc Gasol, last season a grade 2 MCL sprain. No surgery required, but he did miss 20 games while recovering, and Memphis struggled during his absence.
And the Grizzlies leading by 4. Lee outside. And the pass to Randolph. Out to Carter. Conley dishes to Lee. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. And last season for Marc Gasol, a bit of a downturn with his numbers.
Yeah, his rebounding fell off a bit, as did his shooting percentages. We'll see how he bounces back this season.
And a moment here to take a look at the scoring breakdown for the Grizzlies.
You know what, guys? It looks to me like they're really in sync here, all on the same page. They've already got a bunch of assists.
Yeah, and the fact that they're playing well, close to the hoop, finding points in the paint, I mean, they've got it all going tonight.
Kufis checked in for the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies last season acquiring Courtney Lee. Clark in a trade with the Celtics.
You know, they were in a bit of a catch-22 type situation. They had athletic wing defenders and long-range shooters, but they didn't have a lot of players who could do both. So they got Courtney Lee, and he's played big minutes for him because he can do both.
Here's Carter. Here's Gasol. And he battles for the ball and gets the second chance bucket. Gasol's got his first points in this one.
You know, that's been a big part of their offense in the early stages. I mean, their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range, right at the rim.
And I would continue to do it. You know, force the defense to maybe send a double team. Now you've got other options to work with offensively.
From the sideline, let's catch up with Doris Burke.
Well, guys, Quinn Snyder this season taking over as head coach of the Utah Jazz. Snyder said the fit is terrific. He loves player development. Certainly a nice compliment to this young roster. Snyder's road in the coaching ranks has been a winding one, but he said the adversity he's faced has made him a better coach and a better person. gentlemen.
His time has come, Doris. All the makings of a great coach. Thank you.
And Courtney Lee acquired in exchange for Jared Bayless. He started as mostly a corner three-point shooter, but he's expanded his range, and now he can shoot from pretty much anywhere along the arc.
And you talk about Courtney Lee shooting. Come on now. Excellent numbers last season from the field, the arc, and the free throw line. Arguably his best season yet overall.
Gordon Hayward with an unusual pattern dating back 6 years, back and forth. Great three-point shooting one season, and then Clark awful the next.
You know, it's a bit puzzling, Kevin. You look at the numbers from 2009 to 2014. Up and down. Last season around just 30%. I'm sure it's a coincidence, but it's a pretty rare one, no doubt. And I'm sure Gordon, with his work ethic, is going to try to smooth that good three-point shooting out and sustain it for a while.
Leno Udrich, who's checked in for Vince Carter.
I thought he rushed it a little bit, guys, because he had a clean look, just lost his focus.
Kicks it to Burks. Pass to Hayward. The feed now to Burke from the arc. And the rebound goes to the Grizzlies. Gasol's got his 5th rebound right now in the game.
And for Hayward, his role and responsibilities have steadily increased each season, but his scoring efficiency has steadily dropped in the opposite direction. Is he cut out for the role of primary scorer and shot creator? I think that's the question. You know, the numbers to this point raise some doubts.
Burks with it. Conley picks him up. Burks the pass to Hayward. Just 4 to shoot. Another miss by Utah. And the Grizzlies leading by 7.
And for Hayward, asked to score in isolation much more last season. Definitely a challenge for him. Gifted ball handler and passer, really good all-around player. But he's been most effective scoring off the ball, whether cutting to the rim or filling the lane in transition.
Timeout is called, first of the game for the Jazz. Defeated by the Hornets in their last game, they'll try to put that one behind them.
They had major problems at the charity stripe in that game. It was interesting. They just could not make free throws.
Yeah, and that's frustrating to watch, especially on the road where your opportunities at the line tend to be a little more sparse than when you're at home. Boy, you've got to cash in on them.
So it's both teams making substitutions here. .158 left in the first half. Exum with it. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. And Favors kicks to Hood. Up and in on the layup.
Boy, that was a rugged screen set there, fellas, and the defense didn't even try to go through that one.
Passes it to Stokes. That's good. Stokes has got the lead back up to 9 now for Memphis.
And you can feel the pattern of this game, guys. They're working it inside, dominating in the paint, getting good shots at will.
Well, 4 of their last 5 baskets, guys, have been of exactly that variety.
The lead pushed to double digits. Adams has got his first basket of the night.
And, yeah, they're moving the ball now. 8 of their last 10 points coming off assisted buckets.
Steve, nothing makes a coach smile as much as pure, selfless teamwork.
Exum dishes to Favors. To the wing right side. Exum's shot is off.
Well, they're not totally dominating the glass, but they're definitely doing enough to keep this lead right where it is.
Well, if you're doing enough good things and you're maintaining at least a slight edge on the boards, you're usually going to be in pretty good shape.
Some defensive breakdowns are starting to show up now. Their last 4 buckets allowed have come from very close range.
Giving up these easy chances is going to do wonders for their confidence.
And he gets it to go.
Well, they're not shooting as many from outside here in the second quarter.
Well, they were shooting well early on. I like their spacing and their offensive flow. I think they need to get back to that.
5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. There's the dish to Franklin. Memphis moving it around. Utah with the rebound. And here's Exum, averaging 12 points a game. Here's Burks. Kufas with the block. Here's Stokes. No good. And so that brings the first half to a close. It's the Grizzlies up 11. And we'll be back right after halftime to get the third quarter underway. Welcome back, everyone, to the start of the second half. Big margin on our hands, but we'll see if that gap narrows down in the third and fourth quarters.
Jazz having all kinds of trouble defending against Conley.
He has 8 points. He's picked up 6 points from behind the arc.
His outside stroke has looked really good today.
Jazz trail by 11.
You know, one thing you like when you look at this young Jazz team is the size that's already in place there. Not only size, but good, young, strong players that have some athleticism. And that'll serve you well when you do make your way to the playoffs, because it allows you to play on playoff-type basketball, which is usually more physical and played more in the half court.
Checking out the group for Quinn Snyder to start the second half. Hayward 3 and Favors the 4. Pairing up in the backcourt, Trey Burke and Alec Burks. And it's Cantor in at the 5. Here's Koufos. Utah with the rebound. And many of the Jazz players travel to a training center in Santa Barbara, California in the offseason.
They work on their athleticism and explosiveness, and there's been some impressive results. In fact, you look at the athletes in the NBA today, the training methods far more advanced than in the days before.
They've done their part here to run down a lot of missed shots. A solid rebounding effort.
Yeah, I'm impressed. I mean, they're fighting for every loose ball, putting a body on somebody and going after the rim.
So here's Burks. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Burke kicks to Hayward. Just 5 to shoot. Koufos grabs the miss. Koufos has got 7 rebounds in the game. Here's Randolph, and the layup is good. Randolph's got 6 points.
Now they'll take as many of those high percentage shots as they can get, guys.
Utah calls timeout.
Well, Costa Koufos was a player the Grizzlies had coveted for a couple of seasons. They ended up trading Darrell Arthur for him. And I like what they got. A starting caliber center. Good value on his contract, excellent defender, really good trade for Memphis.
And the Grizzlies making a change here. Gasol's checked in, and Utah with a change here too. Booker's checked in. Now let's go to Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, thank you, Kevin. There are a lot of questions as to how Dante Exum will develop as a player. He has the skill to be a 2-guard, but grew up playing point guard. He would prefer the point, saying that's the position that has got me here. That's what I want to be going forward. We'll see if the coaches agree, Kevin.
We'll see how it plays out. Thanks, Doris. And Koufos, a great rebounder, has a nice hook shot to score inside.
Yeah, he's not really a floor spacer. He's not a guy that's going to step out and knock down deep perimeter shots, even though he does have European heritage as a player and a man. But he did have a great field goal percentage in Denver, and we'll see if he can get back to that kind of shooting in Memphis.
Hayward against Prince. A rebound by Gasol. Gasol's got 6 rebounds here tonight.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but in the rebounding department too, Clark.
Yeah, it's been a really gritty performance. They'll have some bruises to show for it, but that's the way it should be. You should feel that you've competed when you do that work inside.
And that's a foul called on Beno Udrih. That's his first foul. The Jazz making a switch here. Novak's checked in. Clock keeps going. 3 minutes into the second half now. And Booker kicks to Hayward. Cantor, the pass to Hayward. To the inside. Here's Booker. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. Now we get a chance to check out the standings out west. Already we're in December. You look at Memphis, they're having a solid season. 5th in the conference and looking to move up. And, of course, Utah, 5.5 games behind.
Well, I think for Utah, you know, they've got to take a step back and just try to pinpoint where things went south for them this season. They're in a tough spot.
But it's so hard to figure that out in the midst of the season, Clark. You got games coming night after night. There's just no time to figure it out. You just have to try to right the ship and get things moving.
Free throw, good, Booker.
You know, the Grizzlies are the kind of team that perhaps fans around the league can overlook or undervalue or even forget about at times, but they're always going to be there because they're tough, they're physical, and they're talented.
He hits one, then misses the second attempt from the free throw line.
Utah was such a fixture in the playoffs for so many years, almost decades it seems, but recently they've not been that kind of a team, and the work is cut out for this franchise to get back to being a playoff team.
Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the third quarter. Udrich dishes to Randolph, and the refs are going to rule that unnecessary contact. It's a flagrant 1 foul.
He really didn't give the official any choice, Kevin. Way too much body-to-body contact there, and tell you what, he's lucky on that one that he didn't get hit with a flagrant 2 foul, which would be an ejection.
Yeah, he would have been out of the game if he had, and the league is doing everything it can to protect its players. And you know, Steve, I think the officials have a really good understanding here of when to issue those unnecessary contact calls. And Zach Randolph drops them both.
We're seeing the Jazz unable to defend against Randolph.
He's got 8 points, and he's done his job at the charity stripe. He's gotten 4 of his points from there.
And that's a good place to get them. You know, they don't come easier than that, but you've got to get yourself there first.
Courtney Lee, he's checked in for the Grizzlies. Conley now comes in for Beno Udrich. And it's out of bounds. The Grizzlies able to retain possession here.
He had no choice but to lunge for that pass to stop it from getting through.
Well, that was a good job. It could have been a quick bucket if he doesn't knock it out of bounds there.
Nick Calathis, he's checked in for Zach Randolph. Gobert, he's checked in for the Jazz. Second half here. We're just over 3.5 minutes into it. Conley's shot is off. Jazz trail by 12. Now Exum dishes it to Booker. Novak kicks to Gobert. He feeds it to Exum. There's the triple. And he gets it to go. Exum's got it back down to single digits for Utah.
So hard to try to play defense with the height mismatch out there that's on the perimeter, and they gave up the three-pointer.
Back to Conley. Here's Calathis. And that one falls coming off Conley's feet. Conley's got 3 assists now in this one. Jazz have gone an even 50% from the floor here in the third quarter. 4 of 8.
Mike Conley, a lightning-quick lefty. Has never been an all-star, but certainly in the conversation as a two-way player who's been a cornerstone for the Memphis Grizzlies.
Booker the pass to Gobert. Nice ball movement by Utah. Exum with a wide-open look. Trying to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark. Prince outside. He dishes it to Conley. Lee outside. Booker pulls it in. And for Conley, drafted 4th overall after 1 season at Ohio State. He's gotten better and better, Clark, with each passing season in the NBA.
And that's testament to his work ethic and his approach to getting better. Last season was his best yet, up to scoring while maintaining his efficiency. And I think he continues to have much better basketball ahead of him.
Calathis dishes to Prince. He kicks it to Calathis. A 3-ball. And that's good. Michael Conley for 3. Conley's got 11 points.
No matter who it is, that kind of defense is not going to cut it.
About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Feeds to Exum. The 3. And that one's good. He's got 8.
And these two just going at it from deep now.
You know, it seems like what's going on here is anything you can do, I can do better territory.
Outside Conley. And a wide open look for Lee. He can't get that one to fall. Here's Burke. Shot is off. And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. Grizzlies lead by 12. We'll get right back to the action when we return.
Spend your Christmas day with the NBA. Kevin Durant and the Oklahoma City Thunder go on the road to do battle with the San Antonio Spurs. More NBA this Thursday night.
Here now a chance to show you our assist of the game, and it's presented as always by State Farm.
It was a beautiful pass, nice, intelligent basketball. The execution was perfect, and that pass set up the open three.
And the Grizzlies leading by 12. Randolph and Kufis are inside. Conley and Lee, they're the backcourt. And it's Carter in at the 3 slot. That's the lineup in the game for Memphis.
I love what they're doing, trying to put the hammer down, attacking the basket when they can.
Exum kicks to Cantor. Now here's Exum. To the middle. Favors passes to Cantor. And even after 2 offensive rebounds, they just can't get the lid off.
That's something they need to do more of. Get after it on the glass. Go get those balls.
Any extra possessions that you can get, either through steals or rebounds, are so critical in this game.
In a moment to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from for Memphis.
And they keep piling up the assists, guys. Great ball movement.
They've really been on fire from beyond the arc tonight, too. I mean, a lot of their points have come from out there.
Beno Udrih, he's checked in for Memphis. And he's good on the second.
Vince Carter in his day, one of the most electrifying players in the NBA, a superstar in Toronto, one of the all-time great highlight reel dunkers. Those days are behind him, but he remains a very valuable and at this point, maybe even underrated NBA player.
The shot's good from Cantor.
If you battle for the offensive rebound and come up with it, you're guaranteed a high-quality shot on a follow just like he got there.
And Udrih kicks to Lee. Pass to Randolph. And he makes good on the layup. And the Grizzlies lead by 15.
And for Vince Carter, a quality defender and still a well-rounded contributor. He always had a nice breadth of skills. Now he does the little things that help you win.
Utah calls timeout. And for some superstars, they have a tough time accepting Clark a lesser role. Not Vince Carter.
You know, it's really impressive the way he's gracefully aged into becoming a quality 6-man, Kevin. I think it's a model for other aging superstars or former superstars to follow.
And the Grizzlies making a change here. Colathis is checked in. And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Hey, Kevin, I was able to listen in on what Quinn Snyder was going over with his team. He told them that they simply have to step up, saying if we don't make a move now, it's going to be too late. Give them everything you've got. Kevin?
Cantor inside. Kufis is there. The shot's good from Cantor.
Guys, he shot a very good percentage today, and they've needed it.
And the Grizzlies leading by 13. Colathis kicks to Lee. It's tipped. And so it looks like the Grizzlies will retain possession here. Here is Carter. Lee outside. Randolph in the posts. He's covered by Favors. The shot's good from Randolph.
Tell you what, does not matter what the score is. He's going to continue to work his tail off on the glass and make plays just like that.
Burks dishes to Exum. Burks with it. And it's Exum at the elbow. Clock at 6. Tries yet again. Ball's knocked loose. Memphis has gone 4 of 8 tonight from three-point land, shooting 50% on the three ball here. And he gets it to go. 11 points for Vince Carter.
Boy, he is a strong finisher on the fast break.
Yeah, he sure is. He remains in total control, even at full speed. I love that about him.
Favors sets the pick for Exum. Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in.
The second he got around the pick and shook his man, it was straight to the bucket for the easy deuce. Very, very well done.
Coathers passes to Lee. Kicks it to Carter. Some nice passing there by Memphis. A shot by Hayward, wide open. The 15-footer, good. And so it's Memphis with it. Randolph with the ball. Favors picks him up. Randolph gets to Coathers. Carter outside. Looks for Randolph, gets it to him. Favors with the rebound. Favors has got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Now here's Exum, covered by Lee. Hayward dishes to Cantor. Misses from short range.
His touch has disappeared on him this quarter. He just hasn't been able to get it going.
Carter kicks to Lee. Inside to Randall. Rebound, Utah. Cantor's got his 4th rebound in this one. Now, here's Exum, covered by Lee. Here's Hayward, accurate with the jumper from the elbow. They got on this roll a while ago, and they just haven't looked back. Timeout called, the Grizzlies. They're ahead by 11. A minute 50 left in the 4th quarter of this one. Both teams will make substitutions. Conley into the lane.
Utah. His 3rd personal foul. At the line for your Grizzlies. Michael Conley.
And the first one at the line is good.
Well, you know, for teams in the NBA nowadays, it's all about getting bang for your buck. I mean, Mike Conley out of Ohio State, one of the great value contracts in the league, and with all the analytics and general managers looking for value, Memphis happy to have an all-star caliber still player like him still locked up through 2016.
Excellent use of the screen that time. Hayward's got 10 points here in the second half. And the Grizzlies leading by 11 and out of bounds as Utah gains possession.
Such a careless pass. You've got to keep your head in the game here.
For the Jazz, this one's not looking good. And here is Burke, and there's the pass to Hayward. Hayward missing again. Hayward against Conley. Side Gasol. And it's good. And the Grizzlies lead by 13.
And these are the types of games where it's obvious one team clearly had the edge. Tonight, it's going to be a great win by a large margin for the Grizzlies.
But they simply ran them off the court.
It was all about the transition game. Fast break points, the difference.
So looking at the season total, this will be their 17th win.
Well, they can chalk this win up, but things are far from settled between these two teams. They'll see each other 3 more times before the season is over.
And they say familiarity breeds contempt. As they get to know each other a little better, you imagine things will get heated up. Tonight was only chapter 1.
And what a huge standout performance it was for Michael Conley. Just an outpouring of points from him. Nobody could do anything, really, to stop him.
Here's Stokes. Good.
Well, if it wasn't already out of reach, it is now thanks to this spurt.
Just keep on firing, man. No reason to slow down now.
Utah's gotten off to an 0-for-2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Burks the pass to Favors. Puts it up from 15. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. We've got 13 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Conley kicks to Lee. Got a piece of it. Stolen by Cantor. Here's Burks. And there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
Well, this is how you completely rattle an opponent's rhythm.
Yeah, you know, such terrific on-the-ball defense to trigger the transition opportunity.
And it wasn't just the tough D, it was the exclamation point they put on the fast break with the slam.
So it's Memphis picking up the win. They pulled off this win, Clark, with respectable performances on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, I think it was just really a nice overall effort, Kevin.
And now down to Doris Burke, who is courtside, standing by with our Jordan Player of the Game. Doris?
Well, congratulations on the win, Mike. It seemed like the team really stuck to its identity tonight. Do you agree?
Yeah, we wanted to just play our game, stick to what we do best, get the ball inside, score in the paint, just try to make easy plays. And I think that's what we did, and we're able to just build off of that.
Mission accomplished, Mike. Thanks for the time. Gentlemen, back to you.
Doris, thank you. And for Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke, and the rest of our great 2K Sports crew. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for joining us as Jordan presents our player of the game, Michael Conley.
Another one of them flip mode joints. Bust the rhymes, y'all. Word mother, y'all. Check it out, y'all. Just sing to the left, sing to the right. Make it feel good, make it feel alright. One time, feel good, yeah, y'all. Bust the rhymes in the place, y'all. Make it feel real good, y'all. Flip mode, the squad in the place, y'all.
Buck wild to all of my who don't care. Floss like a bunch of young black millionaires. Making you run, me and my stacking my ones. Floss a little, invest up in the mutual fund. Blowing the horn, a sense of every day I was born. Never dream I see it, landscaping my lawn. Dangerous, be accurate. Have to get the flow be so immaculate. Hey yo, watching my dough. Sipping it slow, them pretty saying hello. Anyway, go ahead and display your olive olay. Little honey dip whipping a little cabriolet. I don't mean to hold you up, but I got something to say. Swear to only give you hot every day. Afraid of us, you know this ain't a game to us. You strange to us, that's when we getting dangerous. Come on. This is serious. We could make you delirious. You should have a healthy fear of us. Cause too much of us is dangerous. So dangerous, we so dangerous. My flip mode squad is dangerous. So dangerous, we so dangerous. My whole entire unit is dangerous. Hold your breath, we swinging it from right to left. With the wide cleft, be hot to death. Staying alive, you know only the strongest survive. Holding my heat under my seat, whipping the fire. Baseline for all of my people moving around. Give me your pound, all of my holding it down. Cutting you up, the new rocking you up. Well, my black hole sucking you up. Back in the days, used to be down. Now I'm holding several money market accounts. Blaze the street, and then I would just like to announce. Feeling my groove, my jigger, making you bounce. Others is fair, me and my breaking the bread. Straight getting it, we got hole in your head, afraid of us. You know this ain't a game to us. You strange to us. That's when we getting dangerous. Come on. This is serious. We could make you delirious. You should have a healthy fear of us. Cause too much of us is dangerous. So dangerous, we so dangerous. My flip mode squad is dangerous. We so dangerous, we so dangerous. My whole entire unit is dangerous. Come on.